I was the fake young master, swapped at birth. After the real young master came back, I suddenly started hearing the inner voices of the whole family. My sister, wearing that cold, distant look but blessed with a stunning, curvy figure, stared at me while thinking, since there's no blood relation, then let me have your child. The moment my little sister came home, I heard her secret thoughts. Tonight, big sister isn't home. That means it's my turn to go to brother's room. The real young master chatted with me seriously, but inside he was thinking, hee hee, I'm gonna hide in the closet and watch a 1v2 live show. Chapter 1. When the system dumped me here, it only told me one thing. My mission was to get along peacefully with the real young master's family. Then it shoved me in and dipped. As the fake young master, the first time I met Willow and saw that deep, bitter look in her eyes, my heart skipped. Something felt off. I immediately grabbed the system in my head and asked, "System Godfather, when are you coming back?" The system glanced at me sadly and said, "Good son, the adult script side malfunctioned. The scenes are way too explicit, I'm afraid you'll freak out. Remember, your script is the happy family reunion version. Take care of yourself." And then, poof, it vanished. Today, I went with Willow to the welfare home. She stood at the doorway, arms crossed, chest full and heavy, attitude spilling everywhere, lazily chatting with the director. I walked over slowly. She scanned me up and down, then nodded to the director and walked ahead. I followed closely behind. Thinking about this so-called family reunion script, I figured I shouldn't get kicked out. I took a deep breath to steady myself, reached out, and lightly put my hand on her shoulder with a cheeky grin. "Big sister." Her expression froze, icy as ever, and she paused for a second. I smiled, took her hand, and led her forward step by step. My sister's figure was graceful, her walk elegant and swaying. When we were kids, she used to drag me so fast I had to run to keep up. Now that I'm grown, she's the one struggling to keep pace. After the college entrance exams, Willow stayed home more often. Sometimes we even shared the same study room. It always felt awkward, like I shouldn't even be there. At dinner, I casually said, "Sis, my classmate Freya just found a summer job. Maybe I should look for one too." Willow lifted her eyes, gently placed a chicken wing into my bowl, and asked softly, "Running out of money?" I shook my head fast. No, it's not that. This is supposed to be the happy family script, so why am I sweating bullets? I scratched my face and added, "I just thought I'd..." Before I could finish, Willow frowned deeply. Her gaze turned dark and sharp as she put down her chopsticks and stared at me. I instantly switched tactics. Actually, it's way too hot outside anyway. Home's better. Air conditioning, and big sister. Willow stood up and flicked my forehead hard. "You brat. Behave yourself, got it?" Chapter 2. After my sister went upstairs, I sat there thinking. According to the script, the real young master should be coming back this summer. How was I supposed to win this family over? How do I blend in and live happily ever after? The doorbell rang. Alicia was back. I was a few months older than Alicia, but she already had guaranteed admission and didn't even need the college entrance exam. This family was stacked. Everyone had crazy high IQs. But Alicia, unlike Willow, was like a clingy kitten, always sticking to me. Today though, she looked down. "Brother, someone's been waiting for you outside." She pouted, clearly unhappy. I went out and saw my back row classmate from high school. She'd been waiting a long time and finally asked, "George, which university did you choose?" Scratching my head, I said, just a local one in the city." Her eyes lit up. She handed me a gift box. "Congrats on graduating. And don't forget the graduation party, okay?" Before I could reply, I glanced up and saw Willow on the second-floor balcony. Her fists were clenched, eyes locked on me. Her long lashes trembled, something dark flashing in her gaze. I didn't take the gift. I said goodbye fast and went inside. The moment I stepped in, Willow was already coming downstairs, brows twisted with irritation. I awkwardly changed shoes, scratching my arm. "Sis, my classmate left. I'm gonna head upstairs to sleep. Come here." Her voice was cold enough to kill the summer heat. No way I could refuse. I walked over, still scratching my arm. Willow opened the medicine box, pointed at my arm. Mosquito bite? I lowered my head. A huge bump was right there. She took a cotton swab, dipped it in white ointment and said, "Give me your hand." I nearly died on the spot. Thank God my script was family happiness. With the way she'd been staring earlier, I might have thought I was in some Yandra route, locked in a basement type stuff. Chapter 3. The faint scent of perfume mixed with medicine filled the air. I slowly reached out, but Willow grabbed my hand herself and applied the ointment. My body froze. My head buzzed. My hand, holy crap, it was pressed against her ample chest. The softness, the visual impact. My mind went totally blank. I tried to pull away. "Don't move," she said softly. "You're hurting me." Her voice trembled just a bit. My brain went straight into forbidden territory. My face burned, my body reacted instantly. The cool ointment felt like a lifesaver, barely calming me down. I didn't even dare breathe. When she finally let go, my face was blazing red. This is the family happiness script, I kept telling myself. No weird stuff. Willow calmly put everything back into the medicine box. Her cool attitude screamed that I was overthinking. I cursed myself and said sweetly, "Thanks, sis." The gloom in her eyes faded a bit. She rolled her eyes. "Look at this. It's already so big and swollen." Holy crap, what kind of wording is that? I looked down. She meant the mosquito bump. Still, that phrasing was wild. Don't go out at night anymore. From her point of view, I was just her little brother. Mosquitoes, summer bites, yeah, that's all. Definitely. I nodded fast. Chapter 4. After showering, I heard Willow on the phone. I wasn't trying to eavesdrop, but I clearly heard welfare home. Crap. The real young master is coming back. Her door was slightly open. I crouched by the crack. Her voice faded into silence, but the call hadn't ended. The faint static lingered. My skin crawled. Like a thief finally caught after years of running. Would Willow hate me once she knew? Could the family happiness script still continue? Suddenly, the door swung open. Dim light spilled out. I met Willow's icy gaze head-on. Something fell, I blurted out. She narrowed her eyes, staring down at me as I crouched there rubbing the floor. I just... She waited, silent. I swallowed hard, gathered my courage, hugged her thigh, and wailed, "I dropped my ID. Sister, are you gonna kick me out?" Even I didn't expect myself to confess that fast. Maybe lying to Willow was impossible. Her cheeks reddened. She sighed softly. "Get your head straight. If there's something, we'll talk tomorrow." As I stood up, I realized my pants zipper had folded awkwardly, creating a very obvious bulge. "Kill me now." I turned to leave when Alicia popped out, smiling brightly. "Brother, will you come watch my performance tomorrow?" I sighed. "All right." I patted her head and thought, stick to the happy family reunion script. For some reason, Willow's gaze darkened slightly when she saw me pat Alicia's head. I patted Alicia again under the dim hallway light. Alicia's eyes lit up. "Does brother like patting my head?" I smiled awkwardly. "Yeah. I like it a lot." I had the weird feeling Willow might appear any second, so I rushed into my room. That night, sleep took me fast. In my dream, a warm arm wrapped around my neck. Then she clung tighter, whispering seductively, "Call me sister." What kind of cursed dream is this? Chapter 5. Sister? "I'm sleepy," I mumbled. She finally stopped, poked my forehead, and said, "Go to sleep, little liar." I woke up thirsty, gulped down water, still warm. Weird. Then I saw it, the system panel. Conquered progress, 5%. My lips stung. I checked the mirror, swollen, scabbed. The mosquito bumps moved to my lips now? This villa got mutant bugs or what? When I turned, Willow leaned against the doorframe. "Wait until you eat." I hesitated, then asked softly, could you not kick me out?" "I promise I'll behave. When he comes back, I'll stay downstairs. I know this probably won't convince you, but, sister, give me a chance. I'll prove it with my actions." I couldn't read Willow's expression. Her face was cool as ice as she lifted her eyelids slightly. She blinked once, signaling for me to keep talking. I awkwardly rubbed my hands together, already mentally preparing to beg with zero shame. I'll go out and work to earn living expenses. Can I hand over my pay every month? I really have nowhere else to go, I said. After a long moment, Willow let out a quiet laugh. Fine. Then you can stay and pay off your debt. Ah, so not blood-related really makes all the difference. Just yesterday she was putting ointment on me, today she's talking debt collection. Cool. But at least staying in this house meant there was still a chance to finish the storyline. I smiled ingratiatingly and licked my swollen lips. Thank you, sister. Willow looked at me. Her gaze darkened slightly as it landed on my lips. Crap, what if she doesn't like outsiders calling her sister? Well, no. I immediately corrected myself. Thank you, Willow. Willow stared at me silently for a moment, then said, I still prefer hearing you call me sister. A hint of displeasure flickered in her eyes, her tone a little plaintive. Such a familiar scene. Chapter 6. While drinking porridge, I kept thinking. No matter how hard I tried, I couldn't remember where I'd seen that kind of scene before, the feeling of being completely bewitched by someone. When Alicia talked to me, I only half listened, nodding absent-mindedly. Finally, she looked at me, eyes sparkling, and said, Brother, then let's go. Go where? I asked. Alicia instantly wilted. She pouted. Didn't we agree you'd come see my performance? I coughed awkwardly. Right? She'd already told me yesterday she wanted me to go to her school's art showcase. She must have been reminding me again just now. I didn't want to kill her mood. Besides, Willow would probably be back today with the real young master. If I stayed home, I'd only ruin the long-awaited reunion of sister and brother. As for Alicia, silly and naive as she was, she probably didn't mind having one more debtor living in her house. I looked at Willow and asked, Can I go? Willow didn't say anything, but Alicia tugged on me urgently. Brother, let's go. I basically escaped, letting Alicia drag me away. Once in the car, Alicia handed me a bag of bread. Brother, you didn't eat much. Then she tilted her head, puzzled. Are you really scared of my sister? The bread smelled amazing. Inside the car, Alicia's sweet, clean scent filled the air. I sobered up a little and suddenly realized, earlier, Alicia had called Willow my sister. Before, she'd always just said sister. I asked quietly, You found out? She nodded. It was obvious. She must have realized I wasn't the real Georange. That's why she said it that way. Alicia looked out the window and didn't continue the topic. As the car rolled forward slowly, I paused, then confessed, My original name is George. Because of some reasons, I was mistaken for Georange. Alicia, I already made an agreement with Willow. I'll stay here to pay off my debt. Afraid Alicia might also want me gone, I hurriedly dragged Willow's name into it. In any case, my mission wasn't done yet. I couldn't leave. Shameless clinging was my only move. Alicia stared at my uneasy face for a while, then the corners of her lips curved slightly. Brother, I can help you pay the debt. I have lots of pocket money. She paused, then added, I'll help brother pay the debt. In exchange, brother will take care of me from now on, okay? Huh. As if worried I wouldn't believe her, she pulled out her phone. It's true. I'm really rich. See for yourself. What? It felt like someone grabbed my throat. For the first time, my shameless persistence wavered. Alicia handed me a yogurt. I opened it for her automatically. Then I hesitated. So, you're not going to kick me out? She laughed. Brother, how can you be so silly? Her tone was light, carefree, carrying that effortless youthful vibe. I rubbed my temples, feeling unreal. The family happiness storyline, was it already about to be completed? Chapter 7. Before getting out of the car, Alicia shoved a bouquet into my arms. She winked. Brother, I'm the 10th to perform. Then she suddenly leaned in, pouting pitifully. If nobody brings me flowers, I'll be really upset. Last year, when my roommate performed, a boy gave her flowers and she flexed in the dorm for a whole year. So she dragged me here just to be her flower guy? When Alicia went on stage, she waved at me. Her features were delicate, waist slim, legs long. much more slender than Willow. She lifted the mic, and the first line came out clear and ringing, lighting up the whole stage. She tapped her feet to the rhythm, the hem of her dress swaying under the lights, long legs flashing between light and shadow. Her silhouette looked smooth and perfect. A bunch of boys rushed up with flowers, faces and ears red as hell. I relaxed. Clearly she didn't need me. I watched with satisfaction. Newly grown girls really do steal the spotlight. But from afar, I noticed she didn't accept a single bouquet. One boy held flowers right in front of her. She didn't even look at him. Instead, she shot me a glare and slightly furrowed her brow. What was going on? Wasn't that enough for her to show off to her roommates? After she finished singing, she came straight to me. Her eyes were moist, still a little red. She bit her lip. "Brother, my flowers." I handed over the bouquet. "Here." She stomped angrily. "I'm so mad I could die." Everyone was staring. I swallowed my embarrassment and blurted, "Good thing you're not dead." She took the flowers and looked at me wounded. "Brother, why didn't you give me flowers?" I explained awkwardly, "I thought lots of people were already giving you flowers." She said softly, "I only wanted brother." Silence stretched between us. Alicia lazily stretched her long legs forward, ankles touching, lounging casually. "When are we going back?" I asked. She didn't answer. The silence got weird. When I stood up, Alicia suddenly stepped forward and blocked the road, hands on her hips, snorting coldly. "Brother, did Willow go to your room yesterday?" "When?" I replied. Her gaze turned icy. "Didn't you know what she did?" My hand unconsciously touched my lips. "Did she kiss you?" It finally hit me. In my dream, someone kept forcing me to call her sister. Could it have been more than a dream? Alicia suddenly leaned into my arms, warm breath brushing my ear, whispering, "Brother, I want it too." Chapter 8. The performance was over. The huge auditorium was completely empty. Alicia was whispering some seriously indecent stuff. I gently pushed her away, sighed helplessly, and said, "Alicia, stop messing around." Suddenly, my phone rang. Alicia shot me a knowing look. The next second, she tiptoed up, hooked her arms around my neck, and kissed me right on the lips. My whole body froze. My mind went completely blank. The ringtone kept ringing until she finally pulled away, breathing heavily. She picked up the call for me. "Sister," she said, deliberately pinching her voice. There was a brief silence on the other end before someone asked, "Where's George?" Alicia replied sweetly, "Brother's right beside me. We're not really convenient right now." I snapped back to reality and snatched the phone. "What the hell do you mean by not convenient, Willow?" I hurriedly added, "Sister, do you need something?" Alicia was smiling at me, but her eyes were cold enough to give me chills. Then she said, "Not too loud, not too soft. Brother, I'm all sweaty. I need to take a shower first." With one long stride, she turned and walked away. Willow must have heard that. Her breathing faltered on the other end. All that suppressed emotion finally exploded as she shouted, "So this is what you meant by proving yourself with actions, huh? This is how you convince people." I panicked. No. Before I could even finish, the call got cut off. Wrong. Everything was screwed. Completely off. Then I suddenly noticed the panel again. The conquered progress had updated. 10%. What the hell? Just from a kiss, it actually went up? I straight up yelled at System Daddy in the auditorium for ages, but silence. Total radio silence. Seriously? You've been AFK for years and still haven't fixed this adult script bug? Adult script. When I woke up this morning, the conquered progress was only 5%. But after Alicia kissed me, it jumped straight from 5% to 10%. So, kissing boosts progress? At this rate, I was seriously starting to doubt, did I really get the family happiness script, or is this actually some trashy romance script in disguise? When Alicia came back from her shower, her body carried a faint lime soda scent. The vibe instantly got thick. Heavy. Awkward. Driving the car, I felt like I was sitting on needles. After a long silence, I blurted out, "Do you think I can get into college?" Random as hell. and it only made the air colder. I took a deep breath. Alicia, I've got a crazy idea. She tilted her head. What is it? I pulled over, unbuckled my seatbelt, puckered my lips, and leaned in. The moment our lips touched, the panel flashed, conquered progress, 20%. So this is the so-called family happiness quest system Daddy dumped on me. Chapter 9. Alicia's eyes were bright. She coaxed me, soft, lingering, teasing, retreating, then pressing back in. Lips, teeth, all tangled in that push and pull of wanting to resist but giving in anyway. The panel showed 55%. Seeing that number, I grabbed the back of her head and kissed her harder. My heart was pounding like a war drum. My mouth went numb. But the number didn't move. Not even a little. What the hell? That faint lime scent hit my nose again. I shuddered. A jolt shot through my whole body like static electricity. Our breathing got heavier, messy. Could it be that Alicia wanted? All right. Decision made. I broke away and said, let's go to a hotel. Alicia looked at me, a smile tugging at her lips. She pretended to be shy and nodded lightly. No more talking. I buckled her in and floored it. From the moment we got out of the car, Alicia clung to my arm like she was scared I'd bolt. I glanced at the lobby mirror and accidentally caught my own reflection. My face was flushed as hell. Half of that redness was pure rage. I cursed the system in my head. System, I treated you like my godfather. Is this how you screw your own kid over? Alicia tightened her grip on my arm. She smiled. Open the door. I put on a fearless face and opened the hotel room door, gesturing for her to go in. She deliberately softened her voice, all coy, and said, Brother, it's my first time. Be gentle. Quick and clean. I shut my eyes and kissed her again. This time, the task better be done. Whatever reward the system throws at me next, I'm not coming back. This thing is trash tier unreliable. I was breathing hard, eyes red, and gasped, Sister, this is your last chance to back out. She narrowed her eyes. We're already here. Are you saying you can't do it? I had no words. The panel still didn't change. I hurriedly pushed Alicia toward the bed. Not knocking. Someone was straight up pounding on the door. Annoyed, I shot Alicia a look. I'll check. But she wrapped an arm around my neck and whispered, voice low and hoarse, Don't. Keep going. The pounding didn't stop, kicks mixed in, like someone was trying to bust the door down. What is this, a bust in the act scene? My mood died instantly. I pushed Alicia away, my neck still smeared with lipstick, and walked to the door. Alicia stopped me, clothes messy, and opened it herself. Chapter 10. The next second, dead silence flooded the room. Finally, someone spoke. Are you trying to persuade them in bed? The voice was cold. Terrifying. My legs almost gave out. Willow. So that zombie siege level noise earlier, yeah, all Willow's doing. Honestly, I was impressed. I grabbed Alicia and shot her a look. You wanna kneel with me or what? Alicia stayed exactly the same, full of restless desire. Then a bright voice cut in. It's you, George. My knees went weak. The young master was back. The real young master, for range, grabbed me up and said, Aunt Wu's done cooking. Willow said to wait until you and Alicia got back so we could eat together. So we came looking for you. He patted my shoulder. Everyone's here. Let's go home and eat. Brothy? Is now really dinner time? I'm trying to figure out if I still have my head attached. Willow deliberately sat in my car to block me, keeping me away from Alicia, while Alicia and Geo Range rode in her car. The air was toxic. If I didn't breathe, I'd die. If I did breathe, I'd still die. Sweat ran down my face. That familiar electric hum. The long-gone system finally spoke. George, big trouble. I felt crushed. At this point, nothing scared me. The adult script over there collapsed. I can't clean it up. I thought I'd take refuge with you, but turns out your script is also an adult script. I screwed up from the start, George. You won't blame me, right? I asked, how do I file a complaint against the system? The system went silent, then replied, come on. I see your conquered progress is already 55%. Brother, let's not fight over money, okay? 50 million. I sighed and glanced guiltily at Willow, ready to renegotiate this cursed conquest plan. Willow sat in the passenger seat, arms crossed, then suddenly said, "It's not too late to admit you were wrong." I stared at her. What did I do wrong? Willow bit her lip and gestured with both hands like she wanted to strangle someone. The system whispered urgently, "George, don't provoke her. The remaining 45% is Willow's progress barred." What? I instantly switched to damage control. "Sis, I was wrong. I love you so much I didn't know what to do." Willow was speechless. The system continued, "My fault for not telling you earlier. You need to conquer 2 characters this time. Alicia's 50% was easy, you already finished that. Willow's remaining 45% will be harder." No wonder I'd been making out with Alicia forever and the number didn't move. I asked in disbelief, then how did Willow's progress already reach 5%? Where'd that come from? The system went quiet. I remembered and muttered, "That night?" Chapter 11. I felt weirdly calm. "I wanna die. The system tried to comfort me, "Don't die. I'll max out your mod. You can now hear the inner thoughts of the other 3. George, your little world hasn't collapsed yet. Keep going. You have to finish the task. Otherwise, if the plot breaks, you'll really end up broke as hell. After the mind-reading mod activated, I barely got home before Willow's inner voice hit me. "We only found out yesterday that we're not blood siblings, and today he's already taking Alicia to a hotel." I pressed my lips together. "We're all adults, so what?" Alicia kept her head down and went upstairs. GeoRange smiled and called me over to eat. I'd been running around all day and was actually starving. The moment I sat down, GeoRange pushed a bowl of soup toward me. "Feel pale? Drink this, it'll help." I was about to thank him when I heard his inner OS. "Goji and ginseng soup, great tonic. Tonight I'm watching a 1v2 livestream. I was so shocked I dropped my chopsticks. "Brother, your tastes are that filthy?" Everyone had shown their cards. Except Willow. She looked outrageously, insanely angry. "Seriously, who writes plots like this? Carbon-based life forms, my ass. How does someone get assigned a mission to romance 2 biological sisters at the same time?" The system chuckled lightly. "George, in our little world, any plot can exist." I asked, "Why don't you just take over yourself?" The system went dead silent. Logically speaking, when GeoRange came home, shouldn't he have kicked me out and flipped the whole place upside down? Just as I was thinking that, GeoRange heard the doorbell. He stood up immediately and walked to the door. Smiling at the person outside, he said, "Dad, you're here." Father Lou was back? Wasn't he supposed to be overseas? Oh hell no. As a fake, I suddenly felt even more ashamed. I stared nervously toward the door. Why wasn't he coming in yet? I bit my lip, uneasy. Should I kneel first? My whole life kneeling before the Lou family, that's just sad. At that moment, Willow handed me a pair of chopsticks. Her face was still dark. She snorted coldly and said, "You've been jumping around all day. Aren't you hungry?" Under Willow's stare, I shakily picked up a piece of meat. Willow thought to herself, could he really be scared sick? I really wanted to say, "Sis, this feels like my last supper." GeoRange walked in and said, come on. My dad brought gifts for everyone." I put down my chopsticks and asked, "Isn't Father Lou coming in?" GeoRange went, "Oh," dumped the big bags onto the sofa, then suddenly remembered. "Oh, the one at the door is my foster dad. He's in a rush for an international summit. Don't overthink it." I let out a long breath. Nearly scared me to death. Willow rolled her eyes. "If you don't do shady stuff, you won't be scared." I didn't dare answer. I only whispered to the system, "Willow's character settings are messed up. She's gone full sarcasm mode." Chapter 12. I didn't know whether she meant taking her brother's place or taking Alicia to a hotel room. Either way, I figured all my buffs were maxed out. GeoRange probably noticed I was low energy and poured me a drink. He said, "Funny coincidence. Your name's George, mine's GeoRange. Easy to mix up. Plus, my foster parents treat me insanely well. They're even richer than my real dad." I felt like trash. Ever since I got this wrong identity script, I'd been drowning in guilt for 5 years. I'd spent all my points swapping Jirange's background, but no matter what, those weren't his real parents. I'd stolen 5 years of his life. Now the real Jirange was back. Even the system sensed my mood and said, "Don't be like that." Didn't the Liu family go bankrupt back then? You and Willow squeezed into one room, eating coarse grains and wild greens. Jirange never suffered like that. Even if I was forced by the plot, some of the damage was still on me. I looked at Jirange seriously and said, "I'm sorry." Jirange smiled. "I accept it." After dinner, I gathered all the birthday gifts I'd received over the past 5 years. I brought Jirange over and said, "These are from Mom and Dad. Those are from Willow. The ones on the shelf are from Alicia. The ones on the bed, I prepared those myself. They're all birthday gifts for you." Jirange laughed softly. "I'll take them." "I'm really sorry, Jirange." In my heart, I knew once the task was done, I'd leave fast. I went downstairs on my own, bringing a photo of Willow and me. That year, on my birthday, we were living in a tiny rented room, just Willow and me. After the family went bankrupt, Mom and Dad took Alicia away to network, leaving only Willow and me in that narrow place. It was freezing. Willow squatted beside me and took a photo with an old camera. She rubbed her red hands and handed it to me. "Happy birthday. Grow up properly. Your sister will make sure you live well." Everyone upstairs was asleep. I looked at the messy downstairs room, feeling empty. Alicia was locked in by Willow, unable to get out, and kept texting me. "Alicia, brother, save me. If you get me out, I'll do anything." As everyone knows, when a woman says anything, it usually means one thing. Knowing I'd already beaten Alicia, I flopped onto the sofa and replied, "I don't think we're compatible." Alicia went quiet, then exploded. "We haven't even done it and you say we're incompatible? Are you playing me? Do you like my sister instead?" Messages flooded in. I replied, "If that's how you want to see it, I can't help you. Sometimes I feel like I really am kind of a scumbag." Chapter 13. Too lazy to clean, I crashed on the sofa. I woke up thirsty in the middle of the night and went for water. The second I opened my eyes, I saw a figure in a white dress standing on the balcony. The system freaked out and screamed in my head, "Ghost!" I jumped to and instinctively grabbed a slipper and hurled it. Next second, the figure turned. Direct hit. The system said, "It's a beauty, you scared me half to death." It was Willow. Why the hell was she here? I muttered, "Isn't this even scarier?" She walked over, eyes full of resentment. I couldn't hear her thoughts, only saw how complicated her expression was. She picked up the slipper and asked, "Why are you holding that photo?" "What photo?" Following her gaze, I saw the picture of us as kids on the coffee table. The house was falling apart, but I was smiling like an idiot in it. Seriously, if I gave this to Jirange, wouldn't that be awkward as hell? It'd hurt her too. I shrugged. "Just found it." Felt bad tearing it up. Her voice went icy. She bit her lip. "You still want to tear it?" I scratched my head. "I didn't tear it, did I?" Her eyes shifted from the photo to me. There was actually a hint of grievance in them. The system chimed in. Perfect timing, man and woman alone. Go for it. I was speechless. Awkward. Painfully awkward. But someone had to move first. So I slowly reached out and brushed Willow's cheek. Her lashes trembled. Something flickered in her eyes. I leaned in, lips puckered. Next second, she snatched the photo from my hand. Her face went cold and she turned and went upstairs. Before she left, I even caught her inner thought. Does he want both Alicia and me? I was stunned. She just left? The system rubbed its temples and laughed dryly. She's jealous. Probably the purest adult script I've ever seen. Playing pure love with eyes like that. Yeah, right. Weren't you the one who crawled into my bed in the middle of the night before? Chapter 14. Good news. Alicia felt played and decided to ghost me. Bad news. Willow ghosted me too. I asked the system, what do I do? She won't cheer up. The system asked, what did you do to comfort her? I replied, my lips were practically halfway there and I still couldn't kiss her. The system said helplessly, "Don't force it. Move her with love." Fine. I showered, dried my hair, changed clothes, and headed out. I'm going to a class reunion. Don't wait up for dinner. GeoRange glanced at Willow, then said, "All right." Alicia jumped up immediately. "Is it the woman we saw outside the house last time? I'm going too." I waved her off. "It's a reunion. Not cool to bring family." Alicia smiled faintly, but her eyes dimmed. She snorted. "Brother, you're really heartless." Willow pressed her lips together, said nothing, but cold vibes followed me out the door. Before I left, I caught GeoRange's inner thought. Here it comes. The sisters are finally about to go nuclear. I drank myself stupid and called Willow. "Willow, I'm drunk." A man only needs to be 3 parts drunk to wreck a woman's heart. She replied calmly, "Call a driver." "Why are you calling me?" Such an icy tone. 10 minutes later, I saw Willow, and the burning heat in her eyes. Damn, what a stubborn woman. I pretended to be dizzy and smoothly let my hand rest on her shoulder. The moment I leaned closer, I caught the strong fragrance of roses all around her. In a hoarse voice, I said, "Sister, I want that photo." Supporting me, Willow raised her eyes and looked at me. "Why do you want it?" Her gaze was deep and blazing, like it could straight up devour me. I wrapped my arms around her, leaned down close to her ear, and whispered, "Willow, let's go home. GeoRange and Alicia aren't there. Also, I bought you some new clothes." Chapter 15. I called ahead and had GeoRange distract Alicia. GeoRange sent me encouragement from afar. "Bro, you got this stuff." The moment Willow opened the door, I pinned her against the wall and kissed her forcefully, no hesitation, full send. She didn't pull away, but she didn't respond either. Until my lips went numb, she looked at me and asked again, "Why do you want the photo?" Then I heard her inner thought. "Have you done this with Alicia too?" I looked at her and said earnestly, "No, Willow, only you." So that was it. She'd been wanting a straightforward, no BS answer all along. All my anger evaporated on the spot. I put both hands on her shoulders and said, "Sis, I want the photo, and I want you." In just a few seconds, she cooled down, stood before me, kicked off the loose slippers, barefoot, wrapped her legs around my neck, and kissed me. By the time I reacted, she had taken absolute control, zero mercy. Her hair curled and flowed like mountain rivers. Light and shadow rose and fell like tides lifted by the night wind. The scent of roses swallowed my words and wiped my thoughts clean. I no longer had the energy to pay attention to changes in the panel's conquest progress. I just went with the flow, following the laws of life, vibes only. When GeoRange and Alicia returned, Willow was already in new sleepwear. The unusually tidy living room and the removed sofa cover made everything look way too obvious. Low-key suspicious. GeoRange frowned, glanced at me, then at Alicia, and raised an eyebrow like, "Bro really did that." Alicia handed me my acceptance letter with a cold face. She said, "The acceptance letter arrived days ago." Willow had just finished showering. Her brow was still damp. Alicia widened her eyes and opened her mouth. "It's broad daylight. Why are you taking a bath?" No one answered her. I looked at the panel with satisfaction. 100% conquest progress. "Let's go." I said to the system, "Stop playing dead. Can I return to the real world now?" The system rubbed its hands and tried to placate me. "Did I ever tell you the outside world has collapsed?" I asked, "What does that have to do with me?" The system whined. "Wah, the programmer just informed me someone sabotaged the passage back to the real world. Repairing it will take 4 years. Chapter 16. Cry all you want." Suddenly, the system dropped to its knees and pleaded, "Host Dad, I'll call you Dad. Boo-hoo, please don't report me. You're going to study at a university here for exactly 4 years. This is a top-tier school here. I promise the teaching quality is the same as the real-world top schools." I tore open the acceptance letter and threw it in the system's face. "You kidding me?" To butter me up, the system started handing out power-ups and hacks like candy. Blind box pulls always hit the jackpot, getting tickets was guaranteed, and every lottery ticket I bought was a win, no cap. The system kept sending attractive NPCs my way, But after seeing so many beauties, none of them hit like Willow. After all, she's the protagonist of this world. Someone clearly put real effort into modeling her. Alicia's tactics to compete for attention changed day by day. The moment she glanced at me, I knew what she was scheming. Stuff like, "Sis isn't here tonight, it's my turn to go to brother's room." True to the Liu family style, GeoRange was also obsessed with witnessing all kinds of messy scenes and often came over to assist like it was his hobby. Only Willow stayed relatively normal. In the early hours, she had just gotten off work that day. A heavy rose scent mixed with rich wine clung to her. She watched me quietly, but inside she thought, "Let me get pregnant with your child." I said deadpan, Sis, I want to sleep. Tomorrow is graduation." At the graduation ceremony, Alicia looked up at me from the audience with a wilted expression. Willow stood beside me. For some reason, her gaze was deep and her mood wasn't great. GeoRange took a photo of Willow and me. After handing it to me, he grinned and cheekily called out, "Brother-in-law." Chapter 17. I returned to the real world with 2 photos and 50 million. One photo was of Willow and me when we were little. The other was of Willow and me at graduation. In both photos, I looked ridiculously happy, while Willow always looked cool and distant, as if emotions were optional. I lay on my bed counting the money when the system suddenly issued an alarming warning. "Host Dad. The person who damaged the passage has now torn space-time apart." My mind went blank. I clutched my money protectively and panicked. What kind of malfunction is this now? The system's voice shrank, clearly scared. It said, "She's right beside you, Nauta." I turned sluggishly and saw Willow sitting on the edge of my bed, slowly fingering the 2 photos. She said, "Found you."